Hello, 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 and welcome to my review of Fourth Wing. My name is Feli. I am a avid fantasy, erotica, romance reader. So I definitely fit in with a lot of the trending TikTok, book talk trends that you'll be see popping up, and Fourth Wing is no different. If you haven't heard of this book, it is the first installment in the 5-part Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, and I'm gonna wait to share my opinions until we get through it. I'm going to start by sharing the summary of the book off of Goodreads. Then I'm going to share a few things that I want to note as you, the potential reader of this book, because there are things I like to know before I even read a book, and I'm going to include those. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the worldscape and the characters, and then I'll share my personal thoughts on Fourth Wing with you. So, like I said, Fourth Wing, Rebecca Yarros, first of 5. The second book, Iron Flame, is already out. The third and fourth book, I believe, have 2024 releases, with the fifth not quite solidified yet, but she has confirmed that it will be a 5-part series, and there is already talks of a TV series adaptation coming from this series, so I think we're going to be in this universe for a little bit of a minute. So the summary that I'm about to read from you, I pulled off of Goodreads. It goes like this. 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her tough-as-talons mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre, dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Everyone at Basquiat War College has an agenda. Because once you enter, there are only 2 ways out: graduate or die. So, I just want to start this off before you dive in so that you are mentally prepared. This book does end on a cliffhanger. This is like a need to know for me, because I'm either binging an entire book or I need to clear my weekend to binge first book and the second book. In this case, you'll want to read the second book right after, because this cliffhanger is no joke. I have not read the second book at the time of this recording because I didn't want to jeopardize my opinion of the first book. I am so excited to read the second book, though. You can kind of see which way I'm swaying. I did find this book to be a little bit of a slow burn romance, which I wasn't expecting based off of the beginning of the book. It is the enemies to lover trope, which is very popular. I am a big fan of it. What can we say? We love a dark and moody with a quick and witty. So, the world, which was a little bit set in the intro there in the summary, it takes place in Navarre, I'm not sure if you pronounce the double R, at the school of Basquiat War College. I'm probably saying that wrong, just let it go. There are 4 quadrants which make up the students. Scribes, which was mentioned, riders, which was also mentioned, healers, and infantry. Scribes are the keeper of knowledge. They're the people who write down the history. They basically keep the library. Riders are the people who ride dragons to defend the country, province. I think they call it province. Healers, of course, are medics, and infantry are more of the laborers, the people who set up the ground. They're the people who set up the camps when you're going to war. That's the 4 quadrants people go into in the school to then live the rest of their lives, divided in that way. Generally speaking, the Riders Quadrant is volunteer-based only because it has such a high death toll, because, like mentioned, dragons don't pair with weak people, but also just as you go through the school year, there's a whole lot of tests you have to get through to be able to get to the part where you even can pair with a dragon. So it's not for the faint of heart, let's say. Violet is voluntold into the Riders Quadrant by her mother straight off the gate, and that's where the book kicks off. I will say the first 2 chapters, very intense. So, To get into the characters, we're going to start with Violet Sorrengail. She is our main character. She is the character that the whole book is through her point of view, except for a few chapters. I like her. This is saying something because lately we've seen some popular books that have whiny, insufferable main characters, and I found Violet to be a main character I could get behind. She is witty, she is smart, she uses her intelligence, and she does not hide behind a man, which is something I love. So many times I feel like in books, like the girl starts off strong and then gets a man and then hides behind them, and in this one, like we just see her stand up for herself again and again, and it makes for a good read. There were parts of this book where Violet made me think of Divergent, and I liked that because I did like Divergent, in terms of like world building, but also her as a character. But yeah, I'm a fan of Violet, and I'm excited to see what happens with her in Iron Flame. So the next main character that we run into pretty quickly in the book is Dane. He is the classic childhood best friend. Him and Violet grew up together. His father is her mother's aide, and he's basically set up to be a love interest, but is also very much her safety net inside the Writers' Quadrant, where everyone's trying to kill each other, basically. As far as best friends go, personally, I would not pick Dane. Let's just leave it at that, because I don't want to give you any spoilers, but The next main character who plays a big part in this book is Xaden Ryerson. He is mentioned in the summary as being someone who would love to kill Violet based on who her mother is, because he is known as the son of the great betrayer, the evil kid at school, because his father led the rebellion against Navarre and Basquiat and all that they stand for. He is a third-year rider, the leader of the Fourth Wing, hint the name of the book. He is also bonded to Segel, a blue dagger-tailed dragon, which is one of the fiercest dragons to exist. So he comes into the book straight out the gate as a hottie and a baddie. Like, you want to be wary of him. He seems too powerful, too quick, too smart to know everything, to have his hands a little bit of everywhere, to be good for anybody's safety. And then the book proceeds, so we'll see how you all feel about him in the end. So that's a little bit of an interview. Obviously, there's way more characters in the book, but I didn't want to drag you through the whole list of characters. I'm going to let you meet some of them on your own. My personal thoughts is that I really like this book. I am apprehensive for the next in the series because I've seen books that blow up like this, that there's a lot of pressure on the author, there's a lot of hype from the fans, now there's even talk of a TV series. So if the book will maintain the style of writing, the level of writing, the thought out detail that it currently has as we progress and as deadlines come quicker for book 3, book 4, book 5, that remains to be seen. But as of right now, reading book 1, I strongly recommend it. I think it was a great story. I think the world being built is really, really interesting, and it's a new take. How can I say this? It's a new take on something that we love. They're not, surprisingly, they're not children. It is a college, so we're not talking about like 16-year-old, 18-year-olds. We're talking like 20-year-olds. And the main character, like I said, not insufferable. The chemistry between the love match, super hot, lots of tension, lots of build-up. Again, why I said it was a little bit more of a slow burn, because there was so much tension, like good tension, as this book proceeds, that you just want to keep reading it, which doesn't always happen anymore. So that's my thoughts, comments, concerns on Fourth Wing. If you are on the fence about reading it, I can recommend reading the first 2 chapters, because I read the first 2 chapters and was like, yeah, I'm hooked. I'm done. Like, clear my weekend. This is what I'm doing. And I love a series. I love to be able to know that I can continue reading, even if only the second book is out right now, and I'm really hoping that one doesn't end on a cliffhanger. I hope this helped you make a decision on adding Fourth Wing to the next on your must-read list. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please drop them in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time.